always thought if there's one man I'm going to marry, it will be Ranbir Kapoor. I was always convinced I'm going to marry that man. अब उसकी शादी आलिया से हो रही है अलग बात है. Tomorrow, there is, when they get married tomorrow, I think there's still some question about whether it's on the 14th midnight के बाद या 15th. I think मुझे
no, Neetu Kapoor clearly said 14th.
14th,
and
14th,
in the afternoon.
right? So, what they're saying is that the Fairas might be on the 14th night, but after 12. So they're trying to figure out what the actual date is. But maybe it's the 14th. Now tomorrow, collectively, you're going to hear the sound of so many hearts breaking for multiple boys and girls who say, "Bhai, Alia bhi haath se gayi, Ranbir bhi haath se gaya." And I think the reason this is feeling so great and so incredible is because, really, like, the panelists were also saying the intimacy. Rishi Kapoor's last film just came out. You've got that. You've got Neetu. Everyone is so happy to see her sort of coming into her own. You've got Brahmastra, which is going to come out. These two power, the power couple who's going to happen together. This family, really, the two of them together, have really given everyone this very sort of alive, living fairy tale, and that's incredible because the thing about both, and Ranbir was not very big on social media, but apparently the big promise is the fact that Shadi ke baad, Alia is going to make sure unka social media presence hoga. So, a lot of this, the reason they've kept it so accessible is why I think everyone feels like, hey, we're a part of this wedding, and that's a beautiful feeling.
And to be honest, even though, the wedding preparations may have been kept hush-hush, but I think, by and large, this is one couple, Paras, who've been rather open about their relationship, right? Unlike a lot of other Bollywood couples, would you agree?
Absolutely, and even that PDA has been adorable because the fact that there are so many of these cute memes of Alia and the way she looks at him, they've never really actually for a long time hidden how they feel about each other, the fact that they are together. They've been very sort of open about their intimacy and how they feel about each other, and how Alia talks about the fact that Ranbir is his rock, which very often doesn't happen. Now the paparazzi was also having a field day saying, "Bhai, shadi mein wahan pe Deepika Padukone bhi hogi, to masala bhi hoga." So the good part about this is when you're watching this, it's like
yes, a lot of people have been asking, are the exes going to be at the wedding? That's one of the questions being asked. My God, I feel like a paparazzo tonight now. Talking to you, Paras, you're a very bad influence on me. I feel like a paparazzo. I used to be a serious journalist. What have you made of me?
In the show, in the awards function where, there are, like whenever Amitabh Bachchan would come and they'd have Rekha cutaway, I'm waiting to see Fero ke time when they put like a cutaway of Deepika Padukone. I'm just like full vicarious pleasure, okay? But I just want to know it. But what I love about them, and I love about Deepika and I love about Ranbir and all of them, and the fact that, they have taught us all in a city like Mumbai where we have multiple relationships, multiple affairs, whatever. Eventually when you find your partners, it's great to have those closures. And I think that's another lesson to learn from these guys. That they've been so open, honest, good, having it, given it a very nice, positive vibe. And that's admirable even for Deepika.
And quite accessible.
So while I would
the way Ranbir's mother and sister interacted with the media, Neetu very adorably praises her daughter-in-law to be to the sky, saying, "Arey, main uske bare mein kya bolu? She's the best." Ridhima also chiming in, she's the cutest. So I think they've also endeared themselves to the media, to the public at large by being accessible, by, acting like everyday people, though they're anything but everyday people. And one piece of advice for you, Paras.
I'll give you a little pro tip, okay? Ridhima is a full social media junkie. She's on my Facebook friends list, and she puts up a lot of behind the scenes content on her Facebook. So
then you better share some of that with me next time before you come on my show, Paras. And also one piece of advice for you, while you're right that these two, while they're being very closely followed by everyone breathlessly around this country, they've also left many broken-hearted. And since you were saying you wanted to marry Ranbir Kapoor, my advice as a friend would be, next time you want to marry somebody, appear on Karan Johar's show and tell him who you want to marry. Because remember who made this happen to a very large extent? I think Karan Johar perhaps takes a lot of credit for that. If you recall, Alia Bhatt actually said it first on Karan Johar's show, Coffee with Karan, who she wanted to marry. And here we are, Ranbir Kapoor and Alia Bhatt marrying each other, tying the knot.
This is the fact that at a time where people kept saying, yaar, paise nahi hai, itna zyada unemployment hai. The good part about a massive wedding like this in the city of Mumbai is the fact that it's going to provide so much employment. And the thing with Indian weddings is no matter how fancy your wedding planner is, eventually to paisa jayega, it'll go to the foolwala and the pandits. It's actually the local economy that's going to grow, right? So this is a great example of everyone feeling like, hey, we are part of this wedding. The other thing is, thank God, because Maharashtra also removed all the mask bans. That's why the paparazzi is having a field day looking at these beautiful faces who are coming in the cars, benakab, so we can actually see what they're looking like. The fact that Alia is going to be a Sabyasachi bride like everyone else. I think the excitement is because this is literally Bollywood's it couple. I mean, who bigger than Alia Bhatt right now, who's one of the most adored celebrities in India, right? People love their romance. They love their fairy tale. And I think that's the reason why, because, the nation has been captured by their romances, because it's literally the quintessential good boy and the good girl who are coming together. It's such a family affair. दोनों के तो नेटवर्थ मतलब 500 करोड़ तक दोनों का नेटवर्थ ही है मतलब this could run like a small country in a big company. I think that's why we're also excited. Never mind the fact that we can only talk because 20-25 लोगों को wedding पे बुलाया नेहा ना आपको invitation ना मेरे को invitation. That's the sad part of this.
That's the saddest part. Neither of us is invited, Paras, but such is life. We do not find ourselves on that exclusive list of, I'm told, 28 people. So, it's like your quintessential masala Bollywood film. What's not to like?
What's not to like in the fact that, we're also, there's another thing. The big weddings that happen, which is Ranbir and Deepika, that happened in Italy. Then Virat and Anushka got married. They also got married in Italy. It's after, so everyone says, bhai, jisko shaadi karni hoti, we love them here, but Italy jaake shaadi kar lete hain. So I think the other home ground advantage that they have is the fact that, everyone feels like it's a shared amount of excitement. Like the amount of paparazzi also, when you were asking, why are they so obsessed? Because the paparazzi actually now has access to these people this time. पिछली शादियों में तो भाई उनको पता ही नहीं चला कौन कहाँ गया किसने शादी कर दी वो अलग बात थी right so I think the reason
and we had to depend entirely on their Instagram posts. It's only when they fed us tidbits on the Instagram feeds that we actually knew what was going on.
Yeah. So now, we know the building, we know where Vastu is in Mumbai, where the building name is, we know that both of them have flats there. So the fact that the access, it's like you can go and touch it. People have been waiting there and it's very good. That's one thing. Now the other part is, भाई मेरा तो दिल टूट गया एक तो FOMO हो गया कि शादी पे नहीं बुलाया दूसरा दिल टूट गया.
Gilly, what are your thoughts? Paras has an interesting thought. Since we were talking about inflation and unemployment, he says, make no mistake, a wedding like this generates employment. Spaces. Gilly, what are your thoughts?
We are obsessed with Bollywood. During these times, we should focus on
this generates employment.
But we are obsessed. We are obsessed with Bollywood. During these times, we should focus on rising inflation, right? But we are obsessed.
Okay, I take your point, Gilly. So, Paras, we have some rather disapproving people joining us on Twitter Spaces tonight, saying, oh my God, we are so obsessed with Bollywood, we're not talking about inflation. Of course, I could have told him that, look, I talk about inflation and unemployment and politics and the Ukraine war every night on my show. Today, we decided to take a break from all of that. Why? Because this is a wedding that people can't stop talking about. Respond, Paras.
I sometimes I feel like you have such a hard job because you have to be so polite. Like someone like me wants to instantly say, "Bhai, जब budget भी आता है ना, इतने सारे लोग bore हो जाते हैं budget देख के." Now the thing is, everything is not for everyone. So when the rest of the time we're talking about, the budget, the economics, the inflation, etc., etc., what's the news on those days? But also let the rest of us enjoy the fact that there are also days, and we all need these nice, happy, warm, fuzzy days. So I also feel like, we can never please everyone, and that's fine. That's perfectly okay. What he's saying is absolutely right. We should be talking about inflation. But like I was saying and pointing out, you should find some solace in the fact that an event like this is going to actually provide so much employment to people. So it's good. So it's fine. People say that, hey, why aren't you talking about the more important muddas? But वो तो कर ही रहे ना, Monday to Friday, रोज कर ही रहे तो बेचारी.
I promise मैं तो कर रही हूँ. I don't know about other news anchors and journalists. I promise I'm doing that.
I like it.
All right. So, your final thoughts on this wedding and your message to the couple, Paras. Your message
I think
to the couple.
my message to the couple is the fact that these two, single-handedly, they are like a living Hallmark card. If there is a couple which today has taught us to be accessible and loving and really show, I think a lot of Bollywood couples in the past have not been so open about how they love. I think these two in their own interesting way are actually teaching people, say, hey, you know what, when you're open and honest about your relationships with people, life is actually much easier. So best of luck to them. I hope they have like an incredible marriage and they make lots of beautiful babies, and good luck to Brahmastra, and it's great. I will still cry in my pillow tonight by Ranbir, but it's okay. My loss is Alia's gain.
Your loss is Alia's gain, but do remember the advice that I've offered you tonight. It may stand you in good stead. It may save you from a heartbreak in the future. I think Karan Johar is the man you need to get in touch with. All right. And thanks very much to the viewers for watching. Good night.